Okay, the question is, what is the trigger? What got somebody, especially a driver, feel so angry on the road, like, outrageously angry, shouting at someone because a person got off. And other drivers just don't care, just go in front of me, I don't care, lots of time. But other drivers just swear at you. Do you know why this happens? Do you think that driver who scream at everybody is perhaps going through a lot in their life? Or perhaps he or she's got a personality disorder, or maybe character. What builds the character? Even though that person probably is a good father, good employee, but somehow his anger or rage on the wall make him look really bad. What sets somebody off? A trigger. What is it? What causes a person to just lash out like that? Instead of, patiently let it go, go ahead. What causes it? Well, according to what we know, what we study, a trigger is something that sets people off, right? So here's the time, 9, 2, right here. For example, here's a trigger. Trigger right here. Something happened, any event, right? Scream, rage, screaming at somebody, right? Yelling, loud, yelling. For something so innocently on the wall, cut somebody off. That's no big deal. Or even if it's a big deal, you might be able to, if you get cut off, maybe you might have more compassion for the other person who cut you off, maybe more understanding. But if you find yourself feeling furious, so angry that maybe you get scared to get off in the car, chances are, this incident on the road is not really the thing that actually get you yelling. Is probably because a lot of the past events, many events, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and more events, or memory where you feel angry, small incident that you haven't been able to resolve. Okay, like incident maybe when you were really young, moments as a baby, even as early as a fetus, then toddler, every little incident, right? Anytime where you feel moments of just not happy, your brain is really complex. It can actually classify emotions. The brain can classify something happy, when you feel happy, when you feel sad, when you feel angry, when you feel guilt. The brain is like a computer. It has different code for different actions, for different feelings, right? So if in the past you have moments of feeling angry and you haven't been able to resolve it, resolve means handle it. Handle means you no longer carry that negative emotions. For example, if you were a toddler and somebody took your lunch, of course you're furious. But if you go home and tell your mom, oh, somebody stole my lunch, and then your mom say, oh, it's okay, maybe that person who stole your lunch feels hungry, maybe didn't have lunch at home, and it's okay to share. So you feel better. So you have compassion. You accept that incident. Instead of feeling angry, you might feel understanding, right? So that toddler incident where you have your lunch stolen, no longer an angry moment, right? So if other events where you feel angry being solved, then the moment when you experience somebody cut you off in the bowl, on the wall, you wouldn't feel angry or yell at them. People go wage, or some people in other parts of the country would take a gun and do some shooting. Right? It's because a lot of the moments in the past where people experience anger haven't resolved, and now little thing sets them off. Right? Because incident, somebody cut them off, instead of little incident, this little incident. Now, this moment here, you got cut off, plus all the previous moments of feeling anger hasn't been resolved. Now, you have that intensity of the feeling, right? So that's how the trigger comes about. Is this incident is very similar to all the previous one, and then sets it off. And now instead of feeling just understanding that somebody cut you off, you probably, if you feel understanding and have more compassion and acceptance of that behavior, you in your head you might feel, oh, maybe that person's in a rush, it's okay. Maybe that person's going through a hard time in their life. They have to, maybe they're just more understanding, right? Because with so much anger in you, it's hard to show love. It's hard to show understanding. Like your mind is like a garden. When there's so much weed, like it's always like a anger moment in the past. It's like weeds, right? If you didn't take care of your garden and take care of all the weeds, pluck all the weeds, it becomes a lot. So anger moments are like that too in the past. If you haven't resolved, it becomes a lot. You're supposed to see beautiful flowers and beautiful trees in your garden, but when all the weeds cover the flowers, you can't see it. So you do have love, understanding, patience inside of you. Not until you let go of those weeds, then you can. Then the love, the patience, understanding shows up. So, how do you handle that? Of course, using hypnotherapy and a couple tools and NLP together combined. Go back to the first time you experience anger and release that, and then release all those moments of feeling of anger, and then in the future, if you do experience, something negative, instead of handling with this intensity, you handle it with a little bit more patience. Why? Because, life happens. You will have people cut you off often because you really can't really control what people do, but you can control how you handle other people, right? It's handling with all the previous big emotion inside of you. Now, letting go of those, you only have to deal with one if they are supposed to happen, right? So that's how you handle your big emotion plus the trigger.